about the difference between working out and training, right? You don't have the right, if you're suffering from neurological and physiological fatigue, physiological fatigue, it's gonna be harder to train. So it's hard to, go into a day and be like, yeah, I'm really going to try to, become good at executing this movement while your brain and your body are tired. Your body being tired is one thing, your brain being tired is one thing, but when both are happening at the same time, that's a struggle. And when that happens, you still want to get some work done. And in my case, I would want to default to something simpler, just, benching heavy weight, because just moving a barbell or a dumbbell from point A to point B is a lot easier than trying to do something like a front lever, which, I have to think about every muscle in my body, what it's doing at any particular moment in time while executing that exercise, and how I can do that better on the next attempt, and, what the nature of the training is going to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's just way finer details. It's just a much more complicated form of training. So that's kind of why you want to have many different avenues in terms of how you approach this health and fitness thing, because you're not always going to feel your best, and I had it in my mind already that I wanted to prioritize doing lever training today, but I did not foresee feeling as tired as I would from the leg training that I did yesterday. So, it's good to have a plan B or a plan C or a plan D, so you keep your body in motion. Some people would just default to a rest day, and that's fine if you're the type of person that can have a rest day and not collapse into a string of days missing the gym, if you're somebody that's developing the habit of working out, adherence is typically one of the hardest things, just showing up. But if you don't have that problem, then yeah, you just take my approach, Can't be too rigid with the stuff. You want to have a plan, but you want to have potential deviations, because progress is not linear. It's one thing I try to hammer home to people, especially people that I train with. They typically, sometimes get upset if they're benching 200 pounds one day, and then next week if they can't bench 205, or even worse, if they only could do 195 and couldn't do 200. It's not how progress works, You can have several weeks of stagnation, or, several weeks, or maybe even, getting weaker, and then, you have a rest day or two, and next thing you know, you get 210 or 215 or 225, You don't get to exactly choose how your body progresses. You just got to continuously show up and put in the work. So that's the plan today. Show up today and put in some work, see what I can do, and go from there. I think I'll be fine. But yeah, I don't think I have much more to say than that. I'll see you inside the gym. All right. So, typically when I start my lever training, I would do a few full holds before I go into the bands, but I just tried one and it wasn't great. So I'm going to try a staggered hold. One knee is going to be, it's going to look like this. don't know if you can see that. So one leg is going to be sticking out and one's going to be close to my core. One thing I've started doing differently is I've started coming over the top more when I'm doing my free lever training, because it's just easier to get into position. You're kind of wasting energy trying to pull yourself into the position. That's more for elites. It's kind of like if you're trying to do a PR in the bench press and the pins are low and you're taking the weight off the bar yourself, you're just wasting energy, and that's not doing productive work towards your goal. So that's the same thing here. I'm trying to use as little energy as I can in regards to, producing something productive. All right, enough yapping. All right. That didn't feel too bad, but I'd have to look back at the tape. You guys can be the judge. Felt. One thing I want to mention is that when you're doing lever training, you're essentially doing back day, all right? If you haven't done lever training before, okay, or if you never considered trying to accomplish a front lever, it's basically a full back workout. It's a full core workout, but you're going to be using a lot of back muscles, especially your scapular muscles. So consider working it into your back day. Just don't expect to be getting any PRs on, your deadlifts or your pull-ups or anything like that. If you front load your workout with lever training. All right. See how this goes. Tried to switch the leg and didn't have enough energy for it. All right, time to break out the bands. I'm gonna try to see if I can get at least 4 sets of 10 to 15 seconds. Purple band, resistance is not listed, so sorry I can't quantify this for you, but it's a little bit thicker than what I have been using recently, and that's okay. All right. I'm a little tired today, so I'm mostly focusing on form cues. I'm trying to use my glutes more, and I'm trying to keep my hips level. All right. There we go. All right. Not bad. Also, I'm doing handstands in between. I'm not trying to carry the camera everywhere, so I'm doing those all off camera. So I guess you'll just have to take my word for it. All right. Working set number 2. See if I can get another 15 seconds here. It's about 12 seconds. Not bad. I just actually remembered that there's another group of muscles that I need to actually focus on getting involved in this lift, and that's the erector spinae, which a lot of people don't know about. It's essentially the muscles that surround your spinal cord. The lower lumbar, very, very important when it comes to doing this exercise. And I think I'm getting better at isolating it during this exercise because the last time I did my front lever training, that muscle was very sore, and I usually only feel that when I'm doing deadlifts. So when I say that the front lever is essentially the deadlift of calisthenics, you see why. All right, I'm running out of gas. One more set and I'll move on. Might have to modify the next set. All right, last set. So I think this is gonna turn out to be more of a back day than a lever training day, just to make that more clear. If this were more of a lever training day, I would spend much more time executing this movement. But I feel like doing something a little more well-rounded today. All right. That's it for those. All right, so here, I'm gonna start working in my posterior chain lower body. I'm gonna try to get some Romanian deadlifts in, and I'm gonna try to see if I can superset that with pull-ups. Now, that's not something that I typically recommend as a routine for the average person. I've been at this for a while, you know. A big reason why I wouldn't recommend it is because when you're doing Romanian and or straight-legged deadlifts, you're getting your lats heavily involved. I'm gonna try as best as I can to isolate my hamstrings as much as possible, try to use my back as little as possible, and then hit the pull-up bar. I'm going to do weighted pull-ups. So I'm hoping this is a bit of an experiment for me. Typically, if I were going to do something like this, I would just stick to body weight in terms of the pull-ups, but I feel like challenging myself today, so let's see how it goes. Deadlifts first. Staggered grip. I might actually make that a little lighter. All right, see how these pull-ups go. Let's take a trip around the gym. All these fine and flowery faces of people trying to improve themselves. Identities will not be concealed to protect the innocent. Sorry, but not sorry.
All right, let's see how this goes. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the deadlifts and come back to the pull-ups later. If I wasn't already like halfway through my workout, that could work better. But I don't think my pull-ups are gonna be that productive. Well, typically I use 2 plates when I try to do 2 plates. I don't have to do that today. You can stick more. Let me think about it. I'll see you in the next clip. All right, let's try that again. All right, that felt a little more hamstring dominant. See if I can get at least 8 with good form. 6 to 8. Trying to be a little bit more explosive this time. All right, 2 more sets. All right, otra vez. Here we go again. All right. See if I can get at least 6 good ones. Back's already sore. Whew. All right, one more set. All right, one more set. Fatigue is setting in. Thinking back, it would have been actually better to do the superset, do the hamstring back superset with something like a hamstring curl machine, but sometimes when you're considering the supersets that you want to do, you have to consider where things are in the gym. And I didn't want to have to run. The leg curl machine is on one end of the gym and this thing is on the other end of the gym. It wouldn't have worked, but that would have been the ideal. Plus, I like the challenge of supersetting compound exercises anyway. All right. All right. All right, what's next? All right, on the leg curl machine, I was going to try to this thing, but it's super popular. So I'm just gonna get a few sets out of the way and move on. I'll let somebody else get on this bad boy. All right, 130. Let's see how this feels. Need to adjust this. All right. Whew. All right. Probably just gonna keep it there. Do 3 quick sets and then move on. This machine is really old, so I can't adjust it ideally. That's kind of the problem with machines, is that they're good for isolating muscles. That's especially great if you're a bodybuilder. But the range of individuals that they can accommodate is limited. If you got special needs, you're screwed. Not that that's the case here, but yeah. Bit of a rant over. All right. This is like not. I can't find the right adjustment on this guy. I'm gonna have to mess with this a little bit. I will be back. My last one here. This is usually one of my favorite exercises, but I can't find the right leverage on this thing today. I don't know if it's just getting old or what, but it feels like I can't get into all the potential positions. All right, that felt a little better. I'm gonna do one more. All right, so for the finale, I'm gonna finish things up with some single arm bent over rows. And I'm probably gonna superset that with hamstring curls, but the latter is probably gonna have to be off camera because again, this is an unconventional superset. So the hamstring curl machine is on the opposite side of the gym. And having a camera set up in the gym is already inconveniencing enough to people as it is, let alone dragging one out all over the place. So try to be somewhat courteous. But this is one of my favorite exercises due to the anti-rotational component, especially when you start getting heavier in weight. So yeah, you're getting a lot of core / abdominal work when you're doing this. I try to primarily focus on my lats when I do these, but yeah, this works everything. And you definitely want to make sure that you're getting nice and low on every rep, getting that stretch when your elbow's straight. And the dumbbell, and you're trying to hold the dumbbell against gravity here, you should get a nice stretch in your lats. You always want to try to do that before you pull it up again. All right, see if I can get at least 8 of these and then head over to the hamstring curl machine. Let go. 80 pounds, nothing too crazy. Just a 10, F it. Gassed. And I'll be back. Whew. Should be able to get at least 10 of these confidently with good form. Let's see how this goes. Set number 2. A really good cue on these is you want to try to pretend like you're pulling on a lawnmower string. You want to keep your elbow close to your body so that when you bring the weight up, you can really pinch your lat. All right, I'm only doing one more set. I'm gassed. Out of here and get something to eat. I'm exhausted. Stretch, squeeze. I'm gonna stop at 8 because sometimes I'm at risk of pulling a lat muscle doing that, it feels. Especially when I'm tired. Just don't want to risk that. You could pry my pull-ups from my cold, dead hands. All right. Since the camera's running, I might as well get this last set of hamstring curls in. Of course, one, somebody managed to get on it, and two, it's broken. Oh, you just realized it's broken. So I can't adjust it to my ideal length. Doesn't make it unusable, but it's not ideal. But whatever. Do a last light pump set and get out of here. The hell? All right. Let me get off this thing before I hurt myself. I'll see you guys in the car. All right. So, legs and lever days in the books. It's kind of a rough one, but not too bad of a workout. Yeah. My brain is like so low on glucose that I can't even really think of much to say right now. My brain is just tired. My body's tired. I'm actually thinking about, having a rest day tomorrow, like a real rest day. Usually even when I have days where I don't do dedicated exercise, I'll do something active, and I might need like a sit on the couch or lay in the bed day or something like that. But who knows, if I feel better tomorrow, then screw it, I'm just gonna keep it going because that's just my mentality. Now, that's got its pros and cons. Obviously, I've talked about before how I need to take rest days more seriously, but I also like to listen to my body, And I feel if I can do something, most oftentimes I will, Yeah, I don't want to go too much into detail about that. I mean, what you should do with rest days is a pretty subjective experience. There's no right or wrong answer to this whole thing. One thing that we do know is that your body only grows when it's resting. Now I'm at an age where my body's not gonna do too much more growing. But even still, in terms of performing things, even at my advanced stage, I could definitely benefit from having rest days. So, yeah. What else? As you can see, as I mentioned before, that wasn't too much of a front lever training day. It was more of a back day, an all-around back day. I worked in a lot more traditional lifts in there, and did something a little different that I never did before, which is a Romanian deadlift, supersetting that with pull-ups. I've definitely superset deadlifts before, and as I mentioned before, it's not something I recommend unless you're really advanced. And even then, it's not ideal because unless you're just trying to work out, you're not trying to train, you know, you're just trying to move your body a lot and burn some calories. It's not particularly effective because I'm fatiguing my back muscles doing the Romanian deadlift, and then I'm going to try and execute pull-ups, you know? But, you know, at the same time, there's a novel stimulus there, so this whole exercise building muscle thing is not an exact science, you know? So your mileage may vary. I'm just thinking out loud at this point. Give different modalities a shot, but keep what's tried and true and tested in mind. You know, have fun with it. Which I guess takes me to the word of the day today. I wasn't gonna do a word of the day today because I just couldn't really come up with anything, but I think this is relevant somewhat. And I think it's gonna be orthographic. O-R-T-H-O graphic. And that basically means, simplest terms, it means something